Nobody likes to lose. And that is why, to avoid losing, to avoid the loss, we often act irrationally. We often like to think ourselves as, the logical, rational beings. But, yet there are situations where you end up acting irrationally. Why? Even experts like, airplane pilots and surgeons can make grave mistakes. So what is it that causes us to make this mistake? Well, one is that, we don't want to lose. A fear of loss and a fear of, and this tendency of loss aversion is one of the biggest motivation behind irrational behavior. Interestingly, the pain of loss is a much higher frequency or a feeling, than the joy of winning. I mean, if you compare the two, the pain is more intense than the feeling of joy. So when it comes to losing, we end up pushing ourselves to do anything to avoid losing. And so, our sensitivity, to change in prices of an item illustrates this crisis. As an increase in the price, feels like a loss, right? And so we react to it in a much intense manner than we react to a decrease in the price. Let me give you a quick example. One of the university professors, Professor Daniel, studied the sales of egg and how the change in price affected people. So his study shows that when the price was decreased a little bit, people only marginally increased the consumption of egg, which means that they increased the purchase by a very marginal level. They only slightly increased the number of eggs they purchased. However, when the price increased, people actually reduced their consumption by 2.5 times. Now, since a price increase feels like losing money, we end up reacting disproportionately towards the change. Daniel's study also shows that how we rush to make sacrifices in order to avoid losses. And goes on to also show us that how sometimes to prevent a loss, we are willing to pay more. Say for example, we buy insurance when we buying flight tickets, which is of no use. I mean, think about it. Loss aversion is actually such a powerful force that we would rather continue making losses than to acknowledge our mistakes and get out. Say for example, stockbrokers in the stock markets, they end up losing stocks just to avoid booking losses. And when the sensible strategy is to admit the mistake and sell with a small loss. In the same way, we continue to stick with our situation or jobs or unhealthy relationships, even if they're not good for us, even if we are not happy. Does that sound familiar? Let's discuss about this more in the next video.